Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, during the pandemic, Katie Nolan, who was based in Australia at the time, was keeping in contact with her friends and family through Zoom calls. And it was during these calls that the issue of baby hairs and flyaways became more noticeable. A qualified teacher, Katie spotted an opportunity to develop a product to address baby hairs, and Sleek and Easy was born. Having been used by many Irish sportswomen, Katie has her sights firmly set on the US market, and she joins us now to tell us more. But first, Katie, what are baby hairs?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, so good question. So they're little pieces of regrowth of the hair at the front and at the back. They're just like, they're baby hairs. So a lot of women get them from postpartum. So when they had a baby. However, you don't have to have a baby. So we just have little frizz, I suppose, is probably the best way of it. And Sleek and Easy is a hair care brand that tames baby hairs and flyaways within seconds without making your hair oily and crunchy, like hairspray and hair gel.
And how much of a problem are flyaways and baby hairs for women in Ireland today?
Yeah, so actually, well, to be honest with you, it's probably every woman that I speak to, and I've done a survey and everything prior to bringing out my product, that this is a big matter. And also trending at the moment is sleeked hair. So if you're walking down the street, you'll notice that every woman, child basically, has this like sleeked gelled look, I suppose, about them, making them look presentable. And that's where Sleek and Easy came from. I want to look presentable within seconds without actually making a massive, huge effort, because there's people spending over 40 minutes easily in the morning just to try get this sleeked look. And you know what? No one has 40, unless you're getting up really, really early, no one really has 40 minutes to spare doing just their hair.
And the idea for the business came during the pandemic from constantly looking at yourselves via Zoom and FaceTime, I believe.
Yeah, so that's where the concept came from. I was working, obviously everybody moved remotely. So we all moved remotely. I was looking at myself in the Zoom the whole time. I was living in Australia at the time, so I was FaceTiming my friends, my family. And you're looking at yourself more when you're on Zoom, even though that's quite vain, but I say everybody was. They were looking at themselves a lot more. So therefore, these little bits were just annoying. And I was using hairspray, I was using hair, and they just weren't working. Or with the hairspray and the hair gel, it was just making your hair really hard, and that you had to go wash your hair that day. Whereas with Sleek and Easy, the whole idea is sleek and easy without making your hair oily and crunchy.
And you mentioned that you conducted some surveys when you were starting this business. Talk to us about the research that you compiled when actually developing the product range.
Yeah, so a lot of intense research, speaking to a lot of hairdressers, hair specialists, chemicals, looking at what was in gel, what was in hairspray, what was good, how I could improve it, I suppose, is where it all came up. So we have this formula made, and it's in every bottle. So in the original, it's just the basic formula. Then we went back on, so we broke into a niche market. Well, that's what I'm going to be targeting, which is the Sports Sleek Stick, which has an extra hold. So it is a formulation with an extra hold and water resistant. And then we've got the Wax Stick, which is again extra hold, because we found, during the survey, a lot of curly haired, the little wand was getting stuck in curly haired women. So therefore, that's where we came up with the Wax Stick.
And what was involved in developing the formula?
Yeah, so a lot of research, a lot of reading. I do not have a hairdressing background. I'm a teacher by trade, so I was learning how, what type of formula, whether I could add vitamin E, what helps nutritionizes the hair and stuff like that. So it was just back and forth with my scientists to see what was better and what works and what doesn't work.
And where's the product manufactured?
So the product is actually manufactured in Europe at the moment, but we want to, in the future, bring it back into Ireland. We're speaking with manufacturers within Wexford and Kerry currently. At the moment, as we are a small Irish business, it's the cost-wise. I just want to build up, and then bring it back within Ireland.
And how many products have you developed to date, Katie?
Yeah, so we have 3 products at the moment. Like I said, we've got the original, just targeting MUAs, women with postpartum hair regrowth. Then we've got the Sports Sleek Stick, which is targeting women in sport. Also, the idea behind that is I'm very passionate about sport. Also, I'm a PE teacher. We're not allowed to have any aerosols within the changing room anymore. So therefore, this is a non-aerosol product.
And I believe some of the Irish footballers were actually using your products when at the World Cup. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I'm very lucky. I've got my business partner is Katie Nolan. She is a soccer player. She plays for Crystal Palace currently as well. So we've used that route to get into the Irish market. We've got the Irish players using it. We've got the Irish hockey team using it, the girls that got to the Olympics. We've got the Irish volleyball players, and we've got a good few ranges of running athletes and many athletes. And with the publicity of women in sport, I think if I can get on this train now, I think, yes, that's where the money will be made. And in future, to go to the US is where I would mainly love to be.
How much competition is there for sleek and easy products?
Yeah, so there is a bit of competition. Obviously, you've got your general hair gel and hair spray and everything like that. However, because I feel that I am niching within an industry that is untapped, there's no Irish brand targeting women, just women in sports. I would love to be like the Lifestyle Sports or the Elbrys of women products for women in sport. That's where I think my goal and target and ambition, I suppose, is. And with the American exporting to America, which I have done, I'm very lucky that I have done, I want to target the universities within America.
And before we discuss your export plans in more detail, I'd like to talk about your route to market here in Ireland. Have you gone direct or through a distributor? And what's the split of sales between online and in-store?
Yeah, so I am very lucky, like I said, through TikTok and it's just the exposure and everything like that. I've gotten a good few wholesales from salons, from independent salon owners, from independent pharmacy owners. But I've just landed with Unifar, who own over 300 independent pharmacies. They also do a lot of distribution within Ireland. And so I've landed with them. So B2B is very much, very good at the moment. I've also got Macaulay on board, who own 36 stores within Ireland as well. So B2B is massive. Obviously, I've got my e-com at the moment as well. Currently, it's probably about 60 e-com and 40 B2B.
And Katie, with that in mind, what has been the greatest business lesson that you've learned to date?
You cannot do everything. Even though you want to be able to do everything, unfortunately, I don't think you can. Like I said, I don't have the business background, so therefore I am learning on the go. So therefore I've hired a branding person for my products, because in my eyes, they look the same, but they don't. Like, you know, that kind of way, in a sense of branding is very important, and it's very important when you're going into stores and retail and stuff like that, that branding is key. So I have hired someone with experience within that. So yes, definitely you cannot do everything, and it's just easier to just get someone to do it who's into that industry, who knows the ins and outs and everything.
Katie, you already mentioned that opportunities have opened up for the business in the US market. Talk to us about that and what your plans are over the next 3 to 5 years.
I'd love to be able to team up with universities. 47% of scholarships within America are female athletes. So if I can team up with any of them, targeting sports clubs within the USA with a sales manager maybe going around BDing, that's the goal. And that's probably the 5-year plan at the moment.
And Katie, what about selling the product on platforms like Amazon and others? What are your thoughts in that respect?
Yeah, like I have thought of doing Amazon. Like I said, I am doing everything, so it is on the long finger. With the, I'm not too sure what the cost is, how much it is. I haven't really looked into it at the moment. With my e-com doing very well, that's where I'm getting the most money. So if I can keep pushing direct through consumers that way, I'm getting more profit compared to the wholesale side. So it's not a no, but it's not something I've looked into just yet.
And finally, Katie, in terms of your roadmap from a product development and innovation perspective, what have you planned?
What have I planned? top secret. No, I'm going to answer. Look, at the moment, I've got the 3 products at the moment. I'm trying to push it. Again, like I was saying, I want a niche within the sporting, so there will be some things coming on the sporting side, more water resistant, easy to use, making sure non-aerosol. Also, maybe upgrading my packaging and stuff like that. So there's stuff coming in the pipeline. It's just not there yet.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Katie Nolan from Sleek and Easy, and we wish her every success with growing her business.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.